All right, guys. So this is podcast number 10. We finally made it to double digits here.
Hell yeah.
So this is gonna be the final one we're gonna do until season 2 arrives for Splitgate, which we're expecting that to be very soon, like probably like within like a week or two from now. So yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about regarding the Splitgate architects as a whole for the
Yep.
community because we got a lot of new updates coming. But before we do that, I'm your host, Co Phoenix. I'm the founder of Splitgate Architects. I make maps, I stream occasionally, and yeah. Yurgi, you wanna go next?
I'm Yurgi. I am one of the other map builders here. I also have my YouTube channel and I stream on Twitch as well. Recently been really addicted to Marathon though, so I've been mixing it up a little bit. Uh, Whoever's next.
Um,
Me?
yeah, Core, if you want to go for it, go for it.
Um, I mean, I'm core. I'm doing most of the stuff in the background, I would say. I'm also a map builder. Currently building a lot of maps, but not releasing any of them right now. But yeah, maybe in the future there will some releases. Yeah, come on.
I'm Coma. I'm another map builder, as like the other three. I do some content here and there, but for the most part, I'm mainly moderator, making sure the bots stop their spamming shit. So currently, what I'm doing right now.
All right.
Oh
So, I haven't let everyone know that we're live in the official Discord. Could maybe one of you guys do that for in the announcements real quick while I talk about the first topic we're gonna talk about here?
Yeah, give me a sec.
All right, thanks, Coma. All right, so the first topic we're gonna talk about is about the tournament, like the turnout and everything for it. And let me go ahead and do a share screen here of that. Um, let's see, let's do this. All right, let's go do that. Oh, hang on. One moment. All right, so we had some feedback on the tournament here. Where is it? Not this page. There we go. And then let me move this over to make sure everything looks good. No, it looks a little funky. Let me fix that. One sec. Why is it looking like that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, no. That's fine. I forgot that it does the annoying box core that it does now. So I need to improvise here. I know what I can do. I can just do share screen scene like that. Boom. Okay, so basically this is the feedback form that we had for you guys to fill out, and basically it's asking if you were a viewer or a player at a tournament. Everyone who filled this out was a player within the tournament. We had no feedback from the viewers themselves, but I think they overall enjoyed it. And then next one was from a scale of 1 to 10, how do we do when navigating help to any players having confusion or questions? One person said a 5, 2 a 7, 1 a 9, and then 4 for 10. I know it was pretty messy, at least at the very start. So, I mean, it's kind of expected. This was our very first tournament that we ran. And then on the tourney organized portion, how well do you think the tourney organized put everything together? Samples, team restrictions, team balancing, brackets, etc. 2's at 4, 1's 5, 3 on 7, and then 1 on 9, 1 on 10. So I guess this area could use a little bit of work. I am doing a little bit of changes to team restrictions in the future. So we'll see what your guys' thoughts will be on for that later. And then for the bracket, I remember we were struggling at first updating the scores, but
Yeah.
we figured
I mean, it was a bit confusing in the
Yeah.
beginning because everyone was posting without more information. It was just a score sometimes. So in the beginning, it was a bit confusing. I mean, you created a template, so people should follow the template, but it didn't.
Right.
And but in the end, it got pretty smoothly, you would say.
Yeah, we started figuring out everything out after like an hour within the tournament. Like after an hour, I feel like everything started going more smoothly. Welcome,
The only
Swan,
problem
in the
maybe
chat.
was you were streaming and the first matches were done before you really started
Right.
broadcasting the first ones. It was a bit crazy fast from a few people.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that shouldn't have been on us though. It should have been on the teams right there, because I advertised, it's like, guys, make sure you look at which seed you are and which boxes are being broadcast. If you're in those boxes, then you don't host your own lobbies. You join my lobby. And those two teams just didn't listen to that instruction for some reason. Maybe they missed it. But it was just the first game. It's fine. We were able to stream their second and third games.
Maybe
It
it's
was
better if we.
It was Team Rated
Maybe it's
R
better.
and Queen Boggles, right? Yeah.
Maybe it's
And,
better
yeah.
if we future hosted the lobbies by ourselves. Maybe if you have enough people that can help.
Yeah, we just didn't have enough people to host every lobby, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. And then the next one was, we're considering making team restrictions more simple and clear, but also allowing for slightly tougher teams. For example, there will no longer be restrictions depending on 1 to 5 for a tier, like we had it originally for Prolaliums, but also within an overall team elo cap still. And majority said, yeah, that sounds good, and one person said they want it even more strict. Now, I don't know who this one person is. They could possibly be one of the people who were in last place for all I know. So, not enough information there to figure out what their general thoughts are. But then this is where I stated, we're considering making SCH Masters, Expert, Intermediate to be 4,000, 3,500, and 3,000 in the future. So basically, it's a 500 plus elo increase. Future takedown tournaments will have a 8k elo cap instead, so increase from 7,500. All assistant teams we had in our recent tournament will still be possible, and 4v4 tournaments will have elo cap of 10k. And so we got some mixes here. We had 2 people want that the SCH settings to remain the same, but elo cap is increase, because they're fine with. And then one person asked for SCH changes are fine, but they want elo cap to remain 7,500. But then majority said they want everything. So 5 out of the 8 people there. I feel like we should have been more clear on this part, but basically, so you prefer the custom remix over the official maps, and we had 3 options. Everybody voted depends on the map overall, mix of both. I feel like if it was just like Anomaly and Charlie, maybe, because I feel like those are honestly the best takedown maps officially. If that was taken out of the equation here, I feel like everyone would just voted blue, perhaps. But I don't know.
I mean, if we have 100%, then all 8 people voted for.
Yeah. And for the tournament as a whole, how do you enjoy it? 1 for 6, 1 for 7, 2 for 9, and 10 for... Oh wait, 4 for 10. So 50%. Give it a max rating here. Again, our first tournament. I'm hoping we can maybe boost these ups in the future. But yeah, overall, pretty positive, I would say. And then
Yeah.
I mean, it's 6
Oh, yeah.
people liked our tournament from 8 people that voted for
Yeah.
thing. So I would say it's total is positive.
Right.
Sure, we can optimize some stuff. Yeah.
And then this is me talking about we're considering doing a rerun of Takedown Tournament, but the difference is that it's gonna be more smaller scale, no main broadcasts, no prizes or minimum prizes. I still haven't figured out if it will have any prizes or not. Maybe just for sport, more laid back, and it won't be on official maps. It'll be on the remakes. So this is the remakes, right? And then
Yep.
I liked for us to possibly have a takedown map made with the past tourney winners on it, and maybe we can include that takedown map in it. The only thing is time constraints. Like, well, we have enough time to do that, so we'll just figure it out. And then, yeah, everyone wanted to see a rerun. What were you gonna say, Yurgi?
I was gonna say, even if we don't have it done in time, like it'll be there for in the future at least. It does
Yeah.
take time to make good maps.
Yeah, like I don't want to rush it out. Like I was working with something and I had some help with from Coma, but I gotta be honest, I wasn't exactly feeling it. I might just scrap it entirely, start from scratch again.
That's part of the process.
Yeah.
You know.
And then
I mean, I can maybe also add some of the runner names on my maps. I'm currently remaking from the officials.
there's some certain
Maybe on
rules.
Charlie.
There's some certain rules I kind of want to follow in making a takedown map now. Like I've noticed that people typically enjoy. That I've noticed, and one of the things was like eliminate the process of just like having like 4 corners, for example, like 4 repetitive corners is going back and forth, like mosh pit, hectic have like these repetitive rotations. That's boring. So I don't want to create something that has something like that, for example.
But if you see Foxtrot from SG1 also have 4 corners, it looks the same maybe.
Foxtrot wasn't a good simulation map though.
Yeah,
like,
Foxtrot didn't even get remade.
Yeah, people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I have it on the list.
Right.
It's on the list.
But it's like, I'm gonna make it. Just wait.
Yeah. But moving on. So
wait some months.
Things we could improve on. If you have any things that come in mind, so the people said stricter teams, better spectating. Now I will say on the spectating part, I don't know if there's anything more I personally can do right now. There's limitations on spectating as a whole within Splitgate right now, where it can be improved on. I can't switch from player to a certain player that I want to spectate that very next second. It's based on the previous and next rotation. I'm hoping they can improve that in the future.
There is a way to get to a specific player if you want, but it's a bit complicated. So if you have the camera, you can go out in the player. So you can go out of the cam, fly to the player you want to spectate, and then you have to press a button again, and you can look from this perspective.
Oh, does it like lock on?
That's how it's gonna work.
Does it like lock on
you have
to
to
the
fly.
closest player?
Yeah, you have to fly to the player you want to spectate, and if you're in range of 1 or 2 meters, you can press a button. And
that would be very ugly to do, like through a tournament.
Not perfect.
Yeah.
The SG1 was better. I think you had in SG1 you had some player names on the side, and you click on it.
We just need an option to just like we did in Splitgate 1, where all we had to do is click 1 to 8. And each player is assigned from 1 to 8, right? It's super simple.
100%.
It's not very complicated, I don't think. Just make it happen. And then,
I mean, just steal from SG1 or Overwatch.
I pray for competitive onslaught. That ain't gonna work spectating wise.
Yeah. And then one person said, make the map pool more competitive, no hectic, mosh pit, alpha, etc. I do not know what this means, what they're asking for more competitive.
So, basically maps that are liked by the competitive community. Maps such as Hectic and Mosh Pit are not competitive at all, simply because you can literally see spawns as soon as you spawn in.
I feel like this boils down to like no maps that people don't like.
Well, yeah, but
Right.
that
I mean,
Yeah.
that a bad map is a not competitive map
Although
at
you
the
have
end of the
to
day.
I
you have to
don't,
see it
I
from
don't,
another perspective.
I don't know why the
I
shave
would
alpha
say
here, but all right.
I would say the biggest problem right now with most of maps is that you can't really tell the team sides. It's something I changed with my Echo,
Mm-hmm.
and the official maps has a really big problem of that. I mean, if you look at Hectic, for example, I think it was yellow. Everything is yellow, and on Mosh Pit, everything is red. You don't know on which side you spawn, and Hectic is much more awful because
Yeah.
all four corners are the same. You have four launch portals on all sides.
Yeah.
It's maybe fun if you play some fun modes like Fiesta, but it's not something for competitive.
And then
So I would probably also remove them.
someone stated, which I agree on. I don't know if you updated your protocol. I think you
Yeah, it's
changed.
updated on.
Yeah,
My
it's
update got
protocol.
0 seconds now.
It's protocol
Mhm.
echo. Basically the same thing as what we had in tournament.
It's the same thing, but updated and more specific in 3 categories. I have now a version for loadouts, one version for classic, and now classic plus. So I go with 3 versions per map
Oh,
now.
okay. So for
But
context,
it's
of
completely
anyone,
updated.
yeah, for context, if anyone wants to play Echo again, it's not called Simulation Echo anymore. Core changed it to Protocol Echo. So you just gotta look up
That's,
Protocol for that now.
I mean, the main reason is because my style is not the simulation style. I got something on,
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fair
say,
enough.
so it's a direction now.
So yeah, this should be resolved. The weapons timer is more consistent now. More volunteers to help navigate and direct players. Yeah. Maybe more casters. Like experienced
Mm,
players who can give more insight into the gameplay. And then yes, balancing teams and allowing for fair games. So the thing for commentating is literally we only have 2 people try out for commentating, right? We can't just like allow anyone to commentate if we didn't actually give them a trial run first, right? And Tony is my baby. He's more like a casual player, I would say. I feel like he didn't exactly have the right fit for commentating, and Anton was literally a professional like esports like commentator, and
I have to say,
he actually put some time and energy to do some research on each of these maps, like these custom maps and everything. Like for example, I didn't even know that Echo had 30 seconds spawn timer for the sprinter right away.
I
That was
mean, the
something
fun
that
thing is we talked
Anton picked
about
on.
that.
Yeah, I know we probably talked about it, but like we've talked about a lot of things, dude. I was in, I was getting my hands on in like a lot of stuff
but,
then, so
but I think we have to say that Anton did a really great job
yeah.
commentating. I mean, I have no experience in
I
commentating, not be able to do it, but he did a really great job.
I'm totally down for possibly like maybe a co-caster that's not me, or like
Mhm.
someone that's more experienced if they can also commentate, right?
I wonder how
But yeah,
good Zach would be at it, because I feel like Zach, with how much knowledge he has of the game, he'd be able to give you some nuances to like what's going on.
yeah. And then start and time broadcast matches being known in advance before the set time. Now, this was mainly because of I this was mainly me trying to be generous for you guys, honestly, because some of you guys were marking uh that you guys were available late as fuck, right? And I didn't want us to start a tournament with way too less amount of teams, like maybe like 8 teams. If we start exactly at the time we were supposed to go live, right? Um, Now I will probably be a bit more stricter on this, for sure. And then, but like, guys, you have to be awake for this. Like, I can't just be like, yeah, we're gonna start, and then you join 30 minutes later. Like, no, man, you have to be on time. You gotta be there for your
I
team.
mean,
But
it was
yeah,
also a bit sad that some people could not really play the tournament because some
yeah,
teams would be
yeah. I felt
there at the
bad
time.
for some of the people that couldn't participate because their captains was a no show. But yeah. What are things we excel at? Do you think that we did very well for the tournament? People said commentating, sending lobbies up quickly. So it's funny how we had someone to compliment in commentating, and then we had someone in this one like, "Yo, we need more experienced casters for Splitgate." So a little bit of contradiction there, but hey, it's to each his own. And then someone said the broadcast.
I mean, they
was
probably
fire.
criticize on you.
Hey, if it's on me, they could say so, right? And then
I would say maybe the problem was that you did most of the stuff in the background for planning the tournament, and some people maybe didn't have these much information than you, and so live streamed the tournament, and Anton was also broadcasting, like commentating. Maybe there would be a good option if Anton is able to do it again if he wants. That he maybe is the only commentator, and maybe you do more stuff in the background, so you can also focus more on OBS.
Yep.
yeah,
Mainly commentating. Maybe this is a better option. Maybe.
yeah,
I
I mean,
feel so.
I didn't. I
I
feel
think
like
we also have. I think we also have enough options now, maybe in the future, to test more mini tournaments.
I feel like I didn't really commentate. I feel like I didn't really commentate that much, but that was kind of the point. The point was for me to make Anton be in charge of mainly the commentating. So, I don't know. Maybe people just didn't like me just randomly interjecting sometimes. I don't know.
I
It
don't
could be a
know.
personal taste too. Like commentators, it really depends on the person who's watching whether or not they're gonna like the commentator at times. So I do think maybe we could get one other commentator besides Anton who is more focused on just the commentating part, like Core said, and that would be a pretty good idea.
If we do get a second commentator, the thing was the reason why I could have easily done Tony as my baby as a second commentator, but he didn't feel
Yep.
as confident as commentating, honestly.
Yep.
And
No, and that's fair.
I can
Yeah.
see that it's a pretty hard job. I mean,
Yeah.
Splitgate is one of the fastest game I ever played.
yeah,
Also, as a
Anton,
spectator, it's really hard.
Anton's also a solo commentary guy. He was expressed that he didn't really have much experience co-commentating with other people. So I was worried that will just ruin the flow of his perspective of commentating, right?
Yep.
So I didn't want anything to interfere with his flow of commentating style.
I mean,
right?
you maybe have also to see a bridge between the maps and the commentating, because if a map is too small, you have too much people on a small area, and it's really hard to spectate. If you have a
Yeah.
map like Face Off, for example, it's much more open. You can better spectate the people and have a better overview over in total.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a thing. So you have to also to think about the maps for spectating.
Yeah. Someone said keeping it both fun and fair, and someone said the format was great. UI for the stream was good, and commentating was fine. Could have been better at spectating, but it's a hard thing to do. Again, I don't know if there's any like much more I can do on the spectating side.
Until we get better spectating tools, it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard for us to make that better.
Right. I will say.
I mean,
I will say something that happened behind the scenes that you guys didn't hear. Anton, give me some feedback really early on was that he wanted me to try to spectate the player that we know that has a sniper rifle, and that was something I started doing more often later on.
Yep,
Fun
that's
fact. None of y'all did really anything impressive with the sniper that we broadcast, so that's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
It's a good tip because every now and then you can get some good clips with someone with a sniper or even the SMG if you follow the person who
Yeah.
grabs the SMG.
Another tip
I mean-
that Anton gave me was that any team that had like one person like last alive, try to put your focus on that guy, because that's gonna be the
That's a
guy
good
that's
tip,
gonna
yeah.
possibly turn the tables. And so I
Yeah.
started
What a-
spectating that guy a lot more throughout the tournament, and was picking on who that guy is more and more. So
There you go.
I think throughout the tournament, my skills are expecting improve thanks to Anton tips there.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think that'll
I
take
watched the
time.
I mean, I watched the full tournament from the beginning, and I enjoyed it. Also, I think it was interesting on my map to see that people really fighting against to get the SMG. Like you have this small objective to get the SMG to kill the enemy team, and this is something similar we have on the official maps with the Deadbolt.
Yeah. So one of the people on the winning team on tour bananas, I can't remember if it was Swatsky or One Try, but they were talking about how they were the guy that always went for SMG, and it drove them nuts that Echo was not consistent for SMGs, and he had to wait 30 seconds to pick it up. So
It drove me nuts too.
I thought that was funny.
That was fun.
Last one for the feedback was: would you be interested in competitive custom events for the future, similar to our lab customs format or pickup game events? Who is a demon that said no? There was one person that said no, but overall, you all
Probably
said
one of
yes.
the losers.
Overall,
One of the losers.
overall, you all say yes, and that is something that's happening very soon. All right. Okay, so next up, we talk about. All right, so basically, what's gonna happen? Let me go ahead and do this. Is we are going to be doing a rerun of sorts for our takedown tournament that we did late last month. It's gonna be a bit different though. So basically, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Let me stop sharing my screen here. All right. So basically, what's gonna happen is. So we're going to do a rerun sorts for something similar to the takedown tournament that we just did recently, but the difference is it's going to be on custom maps only. There won't be no main broadcast channel, and the reason for this is that we can just focus all our time and energy into being organized for the tournament and helping people out within the Discord. Also, it gives me the opportunity to compete in the tournament as well, which was something that I wanted to do. So I plan to try to look for a team for that. And then there won't really be like any cash or prizes incentive. It's maybe just gonna be like all like mainly casual and fun. And it's gonna be to experiment to test out with the new team restrictions that we haven't played. So let me go ahead and share screen again. And then so no teams can exceed a cap of over 1,000 for 44s. That's something that's been planned from the start. But the new change is 8,000 elo cap for 3v3s, so up from 7,500. And if we ever do 2v2 tournament in the future, I'm thinking about it being 5,500, and I'll get why it's that number specifically later. But everyone's elo is rounded down to the nearest 100th, and that's something that was the same last tournament. But then all Splitgate pro players are considered 4,000 instead of 3,500. They can only team with one Perillium, one player, and players ranked below. So this is a upgrade from what they were able to do in the past. I maybe want this to be I maybe did this because I really wanted pro players to feel like they could compete without being severely handicapped. And so I'll go with the examples of 3v3 right here. So basically, this is basically the strongest team they could have for takedown. So they could still have a kind of a weak third, even having a Pearlian 1. So they'll still have to like mostly carry to do all the work, right? They're still gonna have to like face like possible teams that looks like these, for examples. So I think that could still be fair. And then SDH experts. will be considered 3,500. They can only team with one champion. SCH Intermediate also got upped to champion. They're no longer Pearlian 1 by default. And they can only team with Pearlian players and players ranked below. And Intermediate, they can team with a champion, an intermediate, or expert. And players ranked below champion. And then another new change is all ranks at gold 1 or lower will be default to 1,000. And this is mainly for a purpose of it'll be easier to form incomplete teams with this change for gold 1 and below. And also to combat the possibility where someone might lie about their ranked and will say, yeah, I'm bronze too, but in reality they might be way higher than they are and just kind of like fuck things up. So it's just
I'm really bronze too.
It's to combat that a little bit, right? And then yeah. So yeah, so this is what the current examples could look like when we do end up doing the rerun for Takedown. Basically, pro players are able to do a little bit more with their teams. Before, they were only able to do 2 Diamond 1s or ranks below, but now they have the option to do a little bit of mix of a little bit higher ranks and lower ranks, right? Again, we want to make it so like every team that was in the last tournament can still team up together. As long as they didn't do like severe rank ups, which I think the only one that might be in trouble there, it might be Robles, because now he reached champion. But we'll see. So yeah, possible max elos. These are just examples, by the way. This is not all the possible examples I can have for max elo. Basically, I sorted it by strongest top 2, slight balance, moderate balance, and most balance. And then another big change was our average team used to be, what was it, like it was Pearlium 2, Pearlium 1, and Diamond 5. Now our average team could possibly look like this. 2 Pearlium 3s and Pearlium 2. So it's a little bit higher skill gap now moving forward, but I think it's for the better because it allows for more teams to have an easier time to find a group. And before, it was a big chaos for me to adjust things, especially for like some like Robos, Destine, Perp, when they were just advancing ranks like crazy, but they were originally gonna be a team together. That would possibly made it a little bit easier if it was like this from the get-go. I still don't think all 3 of them could have teamed up, but let's say if Robos wanted to team up with Steen, I think that would have been a possibility that they could have done if they wanted, if we just had this from the get-go. But yeah. So that's where I'm currently standing for that. And then, if you guys are curious why I have plans for the main tournament for Season 2, which I want us to do eventually, is 4v4s. And this is what that could possibly look like with the possible max English teams here. And then, if we ever get up to a Season 3, which I hope we do for Splitgate.
Right. I hope we do too.
I'm thinking maybe we could do something with 2v2s, and it could be something looking like this. And the reason why I made it 5,500 is if we did cap it at 6,000, I think it would have been a little bit too much. We can have 2 champions on a team together. So I just decided, let's just make it 5,500 then. So
I mean, if there's no Season 3, we can go back to Unreal Tournament and tournament there.
Yeah.
That's the name.
But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on everything? Do you guys think this all looks good?
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea about this stuff, but it looks fine to me.
I'm the same way, Core. I'm like, I don't know these numbers.
I think you did a good
I-
job
I
on
kind
it,
of-
but I have no
for-
idea.
For context, for most people who don't know, I was basically in literally none of the tournament organizations. So my talk in the tournament organization
Mhm.
is 0. That's my
So
that's my take.
I'm probably the one who understands those numbers the best out of it, besides Phoenix, because he probably went deeper into them than I would. But with how low the player count is right now, there's not much of a variation between ranks. So kind of broadening the restriction helps people who are playing together stay together for their team.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Like, at my perspective, like, let's look at the guy, the one guy in the feedback forum that wanted the teams to be more restrict. My answer to whoever that is I don't think we have a large enough player count to basically make it even more strict, because then that's going to end up doing is that's going to possibly make even fewer
Less
teams in the
sign up.
tournaments in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, you have to see we do this for fun. The people play it for fun, and maybe a bit for money, but in the end,
It's really just for fun.
all about
honestly.
fun.
Yeah.
I think the most fun you can have as a spectator or as a watcher of the stream or the tournament in total is if you have some really good players. I mean, I could not imagine playing this tournament. I'm not good enough, I would say, but I think it's also a good opportunity for the map builders to create some maps and put it in maybe in the tournament in the future.
Yeah, and like I'm kind of in the mindset where as long as you don't have literally the best players possible teaming up together, I don't see a problem, and our restrictions kind of do prevent that. So
Yeah. And so, like, basically, like, if you guys are familiar with any of the MVP tournaments that they had throughout the season, the miniature tournaments, like the rerun events, that's kind of like how I want to do it, or like you basically tune into whoever stream you want to support, and you just watch their perspective, right?
yeah, that's kind of how we did it too. And then you
Yeah.
had the couple games where you would focus on, but a lot of the people that were in the tournament streamed it too, so you could just go and watch them stream.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking we can. I like to try to make that happen like in the middle of April, but we'll see. We don't have a set date yet. I think whenever we do our next podcast, we'll probably have a set date then, and then
We'll be talking more by then.
And I would assume we will have signups ready by until then as well. But yeah, if you guys want to know what the main tournament that we have planned, it's gonna be remakes on 4v4 maps. So we're talking things like Ayatis, like Club Silo, Atlantis, the official remakes like Stadium, Oasis, the imported maps like Abyss, Carmen Station. I'm currently working on Highwind, so I'll probably be finishing that. And we know that there's gonna be another map officially, and then I don't know.
It's probably forgotten.
I don't know if maybe we could do something with genetics if you wanted to come up, but we'll probably have to make it a little bit smaller because I do think it was a bit on the bigger side.
I'll
Yeah, it might
take a
take me
look
some
at the
time for
map
that.
too.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. If you guys don't know what genetics is, Koma basically did like a remix version of Helix. It's familiar, but it's not quite Helix.
It's a little big, yeah.
I mean,
like you said.
Yeah,
I mean-
it is. Yeah.
I maybe also have an idea what we could also do is if you have enough time. There are some unreleased maps for SG1 by Blaze that we could maybe recreate from SG1 and bring
We
it to
could, yeah.
Arena Reloaded.
feel-
There are some arena maps,
I'm
like the temple
totally
map, for example, would be interesting.
I'm totally down to possibly include something like that. I think Minnie. I don't know if Minnie's still working on it, but I do know Minnie was wanting to remake Drift, one of the Blocktober maps from Splitgate 1. One of the ones I remade myself. Yeah, he was talking about that he was remaking one of those. If Minnie does complete that, I may consider maybe putting that into the tournament. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah. Are we gonna move on
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
the tournament now?
Yeah, we're gonna move on
Okay.
from tournament talks. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that Core has been working hard on, and that is the LFG and PUGs category. Do you want to take over on talk about that, Core?
Yeah, I can. So, based on the feedback we got from the tournament, we had some ideas for bringing parks back to our version. Like, we currently have parks for the official Splitgate server on Discord. And I think it's maybe a good opportunity for the people to find some teams over the time between the tournaments, get some more training, also for newer players, also for myself, maybe to get maybe step up the game, because currently ranked is not really a thing, I would say, based on the takedown as we have officially. So takedown is really goes place, I would say. We got a lot of people now joining our server. In the beginning, we were only map builder server, and now we have both sides here. We have map builders, competitive players here. Maybe I can switch.
Let me share my screen again here. This was basically something similar what Core's got set up for LFG. So like, let's say I type in LFG ranks. Let's say I want people to like queue for ranked, right? I just do this. This message pops up. It lets everyone know in the server. It's like, hey, someone's looking for group for ranked.
Yeah.
And it also does this LFG ping. Now we might I don't know, we might tweak this in the future, but currently it's for like any of these LFG options. Maybe I don't know, maybe we have to make it so like there's different variations we can opt in for.
The thing is, currently I was thinking on a pillar system on 2 pillars, like we have one paying for parks and one paying for the LFG.
Yeah.
Of course, we could create many roles and split it more and more and more, but I think the player base currently is so small. Finding rank games is so hard, and also we have to a split between different server regions. This is the reason I would go only with 2 roles, and if you are interested in it, you can play. If you're not interested, just ignore it. If you're annoyed by this role, just don't pick this role. You can get it on your account on and off every time you want. So it's a free option you can enable if you want to have some pings.
I just see this potentially being very ping spammy. I mean, sure, the role is optional. Like again, like anyone can go to channels of roles and just remove this role if they wanted, right? But it also just makes me think like, does anyone want this role if it becomes very spam heavy? So like maybe we need to break it up to certain sections where like LFG rank, LFG customs, and so on. What's your thoughts on that, Core?
I could see maybe an array for having ranked, arena royale, and quick play in general. So we could group quick play, customs, and takedown maybe in one ping, and having ranked and royale for another pings. So in the end, we have maybe 3 pings.
So yeah, it pops up a little message and it'll be like, yo, reply to this message if you want to join, and then if someone sees it and the replies, and it lets them know that hey, someone else is also going to queue for ranked. Basically, it's just an attempt to get people's attention to queue up a certain playlist. This is especially very helpful for ranked, because right now ranked is very low player count right now. Like basically, the only time you're ever going to be able to play ranked is, if people are actually on at that time to queue for ranked. Which surprisingly, last night it was pretty freaking active. It was a lot of people were playing last night super late at night. But yeah, that's basically the general idea. But you also have things for LFG customs, quick play, takedown, and arena royale.
I mean, in the beginning, I was searching for a bot that could do that. I tried a lot of bots, but I could not find the thing for us. in the end, I was creating something similar with
Uh,
that.
so this is
Basically, it's just a short key for our just generate a message for you. So if you are lazy, you can just use a command and it creates a basic message for you. And you can also see the posted date, like how old is this message,
yeah.
and when got this ping. And I think it could be useful.
So this was something that it's still not final, but basically you could filter it by 4v4, 3v3. Right now it's 1v1. It's gonna be 2v2. It's right now it's 1v1 for testing purposes right now. But yeah, it's gonna be changed to 2v2. Basically, we're thinking that so our pugs is just exclusively gonna be on custom maps, so it's gonna be different than the official Discord pugs. Because why have our own pugs if it's not different, right? It oh Core just updated. Why have our own pugs if it's not different? Just use the official Discord, right? This gives the opportunity for map builders to have um, competition going on under their maps, right? So right now we have like 6 options for 4v4. Again, it's gonna be updated in the future, and we got 6 options for 3v3 right now, and then uh for 4v4 it's just gonna be classic. So I'm hoping we'll have classic ranked for 4v4 when season 2 arrives. Because if that happens, then we should probably have custom maps variants for it that we could use for pugs as well. Because right now there's no classic 4v4 variant that we can use with pistol secondary. So I'm hoping that could be something that's going to be arriving soon. And then if that does happen, then we'll have 4v4 pugs ready. If not, we'll have 4v4 pugs ready sometime after season 2. But next week we plan to make 3v3 takedown pugs available for testing the waters, and then 2v2 pugs. It's basically we still haven't worked out all the details for it yet, but so far I'm thinking it's mostly just gonna be like King of the Hill, team deathmatch, maybe domination on the takedown maps basically. Because like we just don't have enough maps to support just general 2v2 if it's meant for general 2v2. I think like something like Sweden's Ruins could maybe work, but there needs to be some changes to it, I think. But yeah.
I maybe finish a few of my maps in the future, maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe I'm currently have Simulation Anomaly, Charlie, Face Off, and Mosh Pit almost done. All of these maps have a 80% finished status. So probably we can add them. So we have more control over the official maps. Like so we can add AR spawns. We can also maybe work with more stuff like Classic Plus, adding more pickups if we want. We can adjust more of the timers.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing we can't do on the official maps right now. We have no control over it.
So basically when I created SGA, I didn't want it to just be only centered on map creation. I want it to be centered on the whole creative form itself regarding Splitgate, right? Like if you're a content creator, if you're a map builder, and I also wanted there to be more tournaments related to custom maps, which is something that we didn't really had much in the past. And same with pugs. Like pugs was something I wanted all the way back in like day one. Just didn't know how we were gonna incorporate it. Or finally get to that point where like, yo, let's actually test this out. We actually might be able to test this out. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. But basically, it's basically to reward all the map creators out there that like made like these maps in Splitgate. Which right now I just feel like Splitgate as a whole doesn't have enough attention in map creation right now. Sure you have the one feature map and quick play every week, but the reality is like how often you're gonna be able to play that map when it's randomly selected across like 16 other
When
maps.
we don't have map voting.
Yeah.
Let's get
I
on
mean-
the hot topic we want to talk about.
To be honest, I think this will probably open a new topic and probably the current situation about 1037, in my opinion. Because one problem, of course, and that's also related to map voting, is you have a fixed rotation. Maybe you play a game, you make a break for 1 hour, you come back and you have the same map again because it's rotating and rotating,
Mhm.
and you can maybe get the same map again and again and again.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And there's
I
like
don't
3
want to see
variants
map
of one map too.
like I can see a map voting system and maybe a bit like currently Overwatch does, a bit like Mario Kart. So everyone got a vote. You put your vote on the map and then it's randomized. And if you have more votes on one map, the chance is higher to get this map. So for example, if you have maybe Simulation Charlie, Mosh Pit, and Hectic, Hectic gets maybe 1 pick, and Charlie maybe 4 or 5.
I don't think
There's
it's
a high chance that
I don't think it's just map voting we need. We just need like a dedicated custom map playlist too, as well, like we did in Splitgate 1. Like, why can't we have that? Like, I don't
Occasional
get it.
That's true.
playlist that like a
Um,
playlist dedicated to customs, and when new maps come out, a playlist dedicated to the new maps.
Yeah, they used to
Yeah.
have it where it rotated the game modes it focused on every week too, and I think
I mean,
if they just have it,
I-
if they have it
I would
situated
not call
somewhere in
it.
the code where it just rotates every now and then, I think they could do that. But
I
you
think
know,
there's a completely shift between SG1, how it handles custom maps, SG2, and currently the current version, Arena Reloaded. Because if
yeah.
you remember to SG2 release, we had different playlists at rotating. We had Fiesta for a few days, maybe 3-4 days. Then it switched to another mode, rotation. So we had one fixed playlist that rotate every time. And that was really interesting, and we don't have that anymore. So I would see it maybe more like that we maybe get custom playlist, the custom maps, and rotates every day. Like the next 3 days is Instagram, and after the days we get Fiesta. After these days we get one in the chamber. So you have always a rotation and specific game modes that is more about fun and
Yeah.
can enjoy these game modes a bit more.
Valkyrie
I could see
said
it
if
could
you're
be
seeing the
fix a lot
same
of problems.
Valkyrie said if you're seeing the same map because of voting, then it tells them, hey, these maps need to go in or go out. I just think they could just do like some kind of Mario Kart system, how they do map voting, where each player could select the map they want, but it'll just do a roulette wheel among those options, and
Yeah.
if there is a map that gets voted the most, it's still most likely to be voted on or lands on, but there's still a
If
chance
a
that the
map
other maps
doesn't
get landed on.
voted on a lot, that also would show them, hey, if no one's voting for this map, maybe no one likes this map.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are maybe one of the guys that really likes this map, and maybe there's one guy that really likes Hectic and wants to play Hectic for this one time, and maybe he's lucky and got this map, it's fine.
I mean, there's Craig
Realistically, it's
fans
not
out
gonna
there.
matter. Like, here's the thing. Even if you look at something like Call of Duty, right? And Call of Duty does not have map voting. Oh, well,
Mhm.
I think now it does, but it used to not have map voting. What people would literally do is once they saw what map it was, they would back out and go queue again. So it doesn't matter whether or not we have map voting at the end of the day. People are still going to be picky about what maps they're playing. It's like, oh, if it's a map I don't want to play, I'm just going to leave and go queue back in.
When did
Yeah,
you
but
start
this
playing Call
this
of Duty?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I mean, I've played it since BO2, but
Black
they've
Ops.
taken out
I was
map
gonna say
voting for a good chunk of Call of
they did
Duties and
take
more
it
modern.
out at one point, but I remember like they had map voting back in the original Modern Warfare. So like it was a thing that they originally had, and then they took it away, and then people got mad, and then they brought it back.
Well, you know what they also just brought back? They also just brought back keeping lobbies. Because that was something they also removed because of skill-based matchmaking. So the way it worked before is that if you were in a lobby, you could talk shit in the previous lobby, like you've always been able to do. But if the game was over, you would still remain in the same lobby with the same people, and you're actually leaderboarded for whoever was actually in that lobby as well. So if you scored highest amount of points out of all players, you're at top of the player listing. And they
Wow.
removed that from 2019 up until like BO7 was when they returned it. So BO7 still has the lobby keeping. But a lot of other games have since ditched that. Halo ditched it. I mean, Splitgate now doesn't have that. There's a lot that is missing in terms of like just
Yeah.
Player choice and
Um,
expression and stuff.
The only thing we can
I
say is like, let's just hope that 1047's listening and like they're actually able to incorporate something like map voting soon.
yeah, and I'm kind of not queuing the arena modes until they do. It's just torture at this point for
Yeah.
me. Like
I mean, you have
when I
to.
do play, I play the Royale mode because I can vote.
I mean, you have to look at the current structure at Splitgate. So they have a fixed rotation system for the maps. So every minute, I think the map pool, like the next map is switching. So if you pick now, you get maybe Abyss. If you wait a few minutes, you get another map and it's fixed. So there's no way currently to have a map voting system or something else. Then you have the different playlists. That's also a problem because if the player base is too small, and we know that based on current numbers, and I also would say Marathon is also a big thing about the player numbers going down right now. Because every time you have a hype game, of course, people switching to this game and playing it for a few times, like Yogi. And I can only see that they have maybe a fixed playlist of Arena, maybe Takedown also, and Royale mode. And inside these modes, you have different game mode rotations. And I also would not see that you have maybe classic and loadout at the same time. I would maybe it randomize it a bit. So they should maybe simplify it. These players they have game modes inside of it.
I'm just gonna
Because
I'm just gonna cut this discussion short because we gotta do ad
We got an
break.
ad.
Yeah.
We got an ad
Yeah.
break.
But basically just a general thought process is that we need more options to choose which maps comes up, and we need more game modes potentially as well. If you're incorporating more game modes but you're only seeing them like maybe like during like feature like events and stuff, like we need like the ability to see them be rotated out more, I think. But yeah. We are back. The boys were yapping about Bungie and Destiny.
yeah,
But
the Bungie podcast.
all right, so I guess the next
It's
thing
a topic right now.
we could talk about, which again I'll share screen here. I'm not gonna share screen in Discord, but basically the host should know what I'm talking about. Basically, what I'm gonna be going to is channel roles. So this has been updated throughout the past couple of days. This is also our onboarding when you join the server too, by the way. So like, let's say, actually, let's show that off right now. Show you guys what it looks like when you
Join.
Hold on. Am I still on the call?
As I did my headset die.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I guess I can't do the onboarding because it fucks things up with the OBS. But basically, all it'll do is ask your preferred server region. Currently we're making this required because we need to have at least something required for the onboarding, apparently. And it makes the most sense to do this over these other options here. So basically, you guys might know that we had it set to US, like United States for a region. If you guys don't have your US East or US West role yet for if you're in the Americas, right? You guys might want to go to channel roles and update that yourself because right now it's the old role that we still have currently. Basically, we retweak this region thing to make more sense to what is the server region in game, right? So this will be a lot easier to tell if, let's say, we're hosting tournaments. Let's say the teams have these roles, and you could find a better understanding as, okay, can I host maybe a US West lobby? Let's say most of the people are US West in there. You could just change it to US West if you wanted. If both teams are in that US, if they're in that area, right? But yeah, just stuff like that. It could come in handy. Same with pugs, right? And then the next category is like, which channel categories would you like to opt for? You can also do this in browse channels, by the way. So you can just do that there. It might conflict with this of you could always just like uncheck and check again to make sure it does show again. If you already have everything checked in here, right? And then roll card display you like. Basically change this from what is your preferred faction, because the game no longer technically has factions. It's more like in the background of the game now. But I still have the factions
Also,
like as like the secondary text, so you guys like know. And so I also got the icons. And then these are all our
you also
additional.
adjusted the colors in general.
And these are all the additional roles we got. So these are what's going to be displayed in the member list. So title display means this is what's going to be displayed in the member list. These are your platforms, your notifications, your pingable roles, and yeah, that's how you can set up your roles now. And then yeah, let's go back to us four, and I guess we could talk about. Here's a question I have for Coma and Core. What is your guys' first video game and console? Because I've already answered this. Yurgi has already answered this. But what is your guys' first video game and console?
Or you want to go ahead?
No, you
Okay.
was the first in the beginning.
So I actually don't remember what my very first console was, but the oldest that I can know that I have had my hands on is the handheld Sega Genesis. And I don't remember what Sonic game it was. It might have either been the first or the third, which is Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, okay.
But
you're a Sonic boy.
Yeah, I was a
Sonic was
Sega
fun.
kiddo.
Sega.
And then I mean, during that time in my life, I think I was also playing like the original PlayStation 1, like Slim, like one of the little small ones that's like this. It's like completely gray with like only the circle. Like
Yeah.
I imagine those were pretty rare back then.
I don't think so. I mean, I've always saw them around during that era, and then of course, like the big console that I then started growing up with was Xbox. Of course, and then me diving into Halo. One of my first gaming memories is, I think it was the Mission 2 of Halo 2, where the hunters bust down that metal door in the middle of the city. That was my first gaming memory that I acquired as a kid. So that's like my nostalgic gaming moment for me. But yeah, that's probably it for me.
All right, what about you,
That
Core?
makes me think. Wait, before Core starts, you talking about Halo? That makes me think of my first Halo memory. I was playing the original CE on PC, and it was one of the missions where you first come into the hunters. And I remember seeing them, and I freaked out. I'm like, "What the fuck are those? Oh my god!" And I just like ran away. Oh my god!
I think that's also Mission 2 on Halo CE as well. Yeah.
Yep.
So they have a case of always introducing hunters on the second mission in the originals, I guess.
Oh, when you first see the hunters, it's always so
Yeah,
scary.
it's like,
your
well,
first
in
time.
CE, it's like, oh shit, don't know what
Like-
these things are, and then it's like 2 bullets to the back from the Magnum, and then it's like, oh,
if
it was
you
that
easy.
knew that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
if you knew that.
yeah.
At the time, I didn't know
Yeah.
that, and they would just like one hit you, and you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. All right, core.
So yeah, for me, it's probably the Super Nintendo back then. It was not my console; it was the console by my parents. They also played on this console, and I also started playing on this console. So my game was probably the first game I ever played on this. I would say is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So I also have it here,
Hey,
cool.
got the receipt.
and I also play on the controller. It's almost 30 years old and still working.
Damn.
Wow.
So-
Made in Japan.
It's
So,
better
yeah,
than the
that's
shitty
probably-
Xbox ones that I
Awesome.
have nowadays with all the stick drift.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
drift's a bitch.
it's still got quality. I have to say, it's made in Japan and still working as it should. Not made in China.
That's yeah,
good
that's
shit.
something that a lot of like I think consoles nowadays don't have is that quality anymore. It feels like
Mhm.
like you look at some of the old retro consoles and it's like they still hold up even after all this time. It's like they still
Yeah.
as awkward as some of them might be with like the N64 and like the GameCube controllers, they still are.
I mean,
I still think Super Nintendo is a goated system.
if they can keep the niche for arena shooters now, between the last games that maybe also Halo have and more players we have, because not many people are currently interested in arena shooters. They should fight about the people they have and maybe get some people to the new genre. I would say. Back to the arena shooters.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like
Good thoughts.
I feel like that's like something where like the Splitgate CEO's goal was before, the internet really misconstrued what the meaning of his hat was, right? All the way back then, right? Was that he just wanted arena shooters to like pop off again like it used to be back in the day. And
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you have to be honest. It was not about the hat. They say they don't want to have a Call of Duty. They want to have the arena shooters back. And what they did is they removed most of the pickups on the map. They introduced class system like what we
They
got was
basically
Marine,
they
Surprise, and-
codified Splitgate, and
Yeah.
a lot of
In
the
the
people
end-
who are fans of arena shooters were very upset.
Yeah.
in the end, you had a game that no one of SG1 player base really wanted, and also not really people from Call of Duty really wanted.
I think
because
I think we can
Splitgate
all
2
agree.
was really Call of Duty copy.
I think we can all agree Splitgate 2 was not it. That's why they rebranded to Arena Reloaded and actually updated a lot of things from everyone's feedback. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Como?
oh, were you gonna
Yeah,
say
let's
something,
continue
Colin?
on. I was about to say I'm kind of split personally, but I was about to say we're probably gonna roll on to the next topic, ain't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
so,
just go on to the next at this point.
so the next subject is the whole Skybreaker event. This was the latest event that's still ongoing in Splitgate. And
I'll play that.
yeah, let me just play this video out. So this is going until March 20th, which fun fact, that is my birthday, March 20th. Maybe give me some split coin. Wink wink. No, I'm just messing around. But yeah, here's the video.
The best FPS experience of 2026. If crazy Portal plays keep getting you killed, this is for you. Take little Timmy, for example.
Hi!
Timmy sucks with portals.
Well, I wouldn't say sucks.
But in Instagib, even Timmy can win his match.
It's not like I lose every game.
Everyone gets a railgun, and one-shot kills every time.
Wait. So I don't need to follow them while they portal behind me?
No, Timmy. You just need to hit one shot. The Skybreaker Event, coming this week, is the best FPS.
All right, and then it loops there. Before we actually talk about this event, I will say is this was something that we talked about in the past on our podcast. Every time they introduce a game mode like this, they need to have like let's say this movie for example, play as soon as you launch the game to advertise the new game mode. Because Instagib is not typically a standard mode that everyone knows what it is.
Unless you've been playing arena shooters for the past 20 years, you probably don't know what Instagib is.
Yeah. So they need to figure out how they can implement that into their game where like everyone knows the rules. Because for example, similar to teabag confirm, not everyone knew that they actually have to teabag crouch 2 times to score. So
yeah.
But at least in this one, it's just you run and shoot. But yeah,
I have a question. Are there specific maps that only show up during the Skybreaker event playlist?
yes.
No,
So
there are only
they
three maps, I think.
they have Carmen Station, Tryhard, and Abyss. Those are the only 3 maps.
So I'm gonna say this right now. I do not like Tryhard as like an official map.
No. It's a fun map. Like I enjoy playing it, especially in like customs.
It's fun for like party modes. Like if everybody has low grav and bat, like that's fine. But when it comes down to Tryhard and throwing it into like a rank scenario or anything like that, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
No, it's not a ranked map.
Yeah, but
it's
in ranked. Yeah, it's in ranked.
It was in ranked before it got replaced with takedown. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But the thing is at the end of the day, Tryhard has always been a concept map. It's never been a map, primarily because again, it is the concept of Ozone. And bless you. And while I do like the map to some degree and I love its history, I really don't think it deserves to be put into the game, like into this sort of playlist. I actually, while I was playing Instagib, I actually found a spawn trap in Carmen Station. I was sitting like the top tower blocking the big portal wall, and I guess my teammates were all spread up across like the top like level, and they were all spawning down underneath where the gravitas spawns. So they were just spawning in a corner down there endlessly as long as I held down that tower.
Yeah, there was something
and
something they got fixed in Splitgate Arena Reloaded that Splitgate 1 also had was that they used to have a spawn protection system against portals in Splitgate 1. And to my knowledge, that basically just does not exist anywhere in Splitgate Arena Reloaded right now. So that's why you'll have sometimes clips where like someone's like literally have a portal that are peeking on Oasis in the back portal walls, and yet sometimes you'll see like enemies spawn in front of you. It's like, yeah, that should not be a thing ever, and
that's true.
They gotta figure out a way to fix that.
This should maybe also add more spawn that's a bit safer society. I have to say I really enjoyed the Instagib mode, even if it's not perfect in my opinion, because I would imagine Instagib a bit differently, because I didn't really like the charge in SG1, and I also didn't like it in SG Reloaded. Because in my opinion, Instagib should be directly if you shoot, like one click, one shot, one dead. And what I also noticed for the event right now is you have a really high shooting. The fire rate is pretty high. Like you can really spam the shots.
It's faster in Splitgate 1 since a give, that's for sure.
So in my opinion, what they should do is remove the charge in the beginning. Like if you shoot, you hit, and increase the delay after that. Like you have a small loading time before you can shoot another shot.
I feel like I feel like it's not that simple, because then it'll probably throw things off of the railgun animations. If you just remove the charge process itself.
I mean, they changed the charge for Instagip. So normally,
Yeah, but
the
you
railgun
at least
has
get to see
yeah,
it charged up, though. That's what I'm saying. If you remove that, you're just gonna have the railgun go from like a neutral state to an instant fire state, and it might look weird
yeah, but
animation wise.
but but I don't think it should be a problem. I mean, other games did it before, like Unreal Tournament. They also have a normal railgun, and they did it for Instagip, and you have a direct shot. So
Yeah.
I don't think they should reinvent some stuff that worked in the past, and they should maybe orientate more about Unreal Tournament. What I really don't get about the event is the portal blocking function. Like, why can I block something and don't have an EMP?
Yeah, I don't know
So we
why
have
there's
two
no
options.
EMP
Give me an
nades.
EMP. Give me EMP or
That's such a
or
weird
remove portal
decision.
blocking.
Yeah, remove power blocking or give me EMPs,
Just
exactly.
give us EMPs. Like I don't. Why would you get? Just
As
give
I
us
said, you have two
EMPs.
options. Give us EMPs or remove portal blocking. I don't need portal blocking for Instagip. It should be more faster gameplay, so I don't see the portal block function. I mean, there's no objective, there's no domination zone, there's no king of the hill. Why do I need a portal
Yeah.
blocking function for Instagip?
Carmen
There's
Station.
also no CTF.
Carmen Station was definitely a huge problem. With the whole portal blocking system, like on
Yeah.
top of the outpost itself, because the enemy can't do anything against it. Fucking, there's no EMPs, so it's like, okay, well, you have to kill them to even get rid of the portal blocking up there.
Yeah.
I also don't get the why do we only have 3 maps for Instagip?
I like it more. I like it that it is limited to certain maps, but maybe not 3. Maybe they could have done at least like 6 or 5.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's like I was playing it. It's like I kept getting try hard, but it got to a point to where it's like everyone I was playing with, I was starting to get keyed back into. And then it got to a point to where it's like they weren't really playing it like it was Splitgate. I felt like I was playing something like Call of Duty Warzone at that point. They were just sitting in one spot and try hard
Yeah.
and just
Can
shooting me because I'm trying to
Yeah.
have fun playing the game, and they're like, "Well, I'm just not gonna move,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna sit here with my insta kill weapon." It's like,
1 second here.
I also think
I played through the event, got all the rewards, and personally, I had a blast. I think Tryhard was my favorite of the 3 maps, honestly, with it.
same.
But
It was the most fun, I would say.
the thing I could care less about was the actual rewards themselves. They're all kind of like, I don't know. They just felt like throwaway rewards to me. Like none of them were that expiring to me, other than like, I guess the armor skin. Some people did enjoy, like Nade Straight, for example, said that was like his favorite armor skin that he was waiting for. So cool for Nade at least, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was like whatever. But the thing I did like about Instagib was the bug that came with it.
yeah.
Let me share screen again.
Funny.
Yeah, the bug that
They
came
should
with
do
it.
on the animation.
So this is my perspective. You have like your arms like stretched out. it just looks
Yeah.
so odd. And then
Yeah.
this is something that Nate did in his actual video edit about it. Here, let
I
me
have
play
seen
it
a
out.
few people
Hey
concerned. I was one
fellas,
of them.
I do
about
actually
the
gotta get
season
going.
2
I'm sorry to
release.
dip out early.
Yeah, all good, man.
Yeah, you're
Alright.
good.
It was fun.
All right.
No, I'm
Yeah, catch you later,
Peace.
Yorgi. Peace out.
See ya. Have a good one.
Yeah.
And if people
So, yeah,
concerned, I was one of them.
look at this video
about
edit.
the season 2 release and if it would be coming in March because we had
So yeah, it's probably like one of my favorite bugs that's ever like came to this game. It's just like this your arm going.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that is they don't have any animation for starting with power weapons.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
I think you can start with a deadbolt maybe for some modes, but I don't know about the railgun.
It's probably because they just don't have an idle animation for it. Because it's like when you have I think every other weapon has an idle animation, if I'm not mistaken. The only other one I could think there isn't one for is the BFB.
I
Yeah.
don't know, I have to check it maybe, but I think the Deadpool got animation, but I don't know about the railgun.
So we're
And totally, I think the game mode is a bit rushed.
so
Yeah, I
let's
think so.
let's move on to the next subject. So we got the last three main subjects. One is what's our general thoughts of the season overall? What things we like, what we don't like, and then after that we're gonna talk about what we're excited for season 2, and then like what do we want to see still, going to season 2 that we don't know if it's actually gonna arrive or not. So starting off with like general thoughts is I'm really happy they rebranded this game because Splitgate 2, again, this was not it with the factions. I could not see myself enjoy the game long term if they just kept the factions, especially how annoying Smart Wall, like Sabras as a whole, was just super annoying. And then also there was just limitations on like what weapons you can use. They don't really have that limitation anymore. And you know they were popping off at the start of season 1. I feel like the second half, it felt like they got to this point where like, oh, we did our heavy hitters already, so like it got very slow, and there was also controversy in the community because the devs like went silent for like 2 weeks for some reason.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we got the Skybreaker event, and we're like, okay, cool. I mean, new event, but where were you guys at the past couple weeks? You had everyone
Not really
worried.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Go ahead, Cole.
season started a banger. The ending of the season, I was like, I wish they could have did a little bit more. So I hope like for season 2 and onward, they can actually space out their content a bit, and whatever hiccup they had, just don't have it happen again. Right? Just have it where like content is consistently happening, and there's not like these large gaps where we're like, okay, what's 10% cooking because we haven't heard anything for a couple of weeks. Where are they at? Because they were very they were very community focused for a while. They were very social. They kept up with their Twitters, social media accounts, YouTube, etc. And then they just kind of stopped for a couple weeks. So it's like I have no clue what happened there, but yeah.
I mean, it was a bit strange. Like in the beginning, it was pretty good. They had also social media posts frequently, and it was. I would say we had some small hype. I would say, based on the community. And I think when was it? I think it was between February 19 and March 5th. March 6th. So on March 6th, they posted the new community map by Nagape, and one day before that, they announced the Skybreaker event, and after that, they're going back to silence and posting some clips after that on March 13. But in total, we currently have some silence again, I would say. Not many information about season 2. I mean, how do we get the information about the delay we got in season 2 was probably just they just increased the battle pass days. I think also maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I think it was also 2 weeks, so it was almost at the same time as we had the silence. So my conclusion right now is that they created such a high quality standard for themselves that they can't keep up with the production standard they created. I mean, look at the maps. These maps are high detailed. You have high detailed skins, you have high detailed weapons, and this team got smaller.
Yeah.
1037 Games is still an indie studio, but they got backed up by some investors, so it's not a AAA studio, but it's an indie studio with a high standard based on AAA studios. And my problem maybe is, what I fear a bit is, can they keep up the content in the next month and maybe with the next roadmap maybe? Because they created a roadmap and they could not keep the content. I mean, it was nice that they finish some maps and release it for, because I think what there was something we got earlier.
So I'm currently hopeful for season 2, mainly just from what Nate Trait have said when I did the Skybreaker event with him. I mean, he didn't say much because again, whatever call he was in with Ian and them was apparently NDA. But basically, he said that I mean, he said this in his video as well on YouTube, that there is a lot coming, and if he's hopeful for what is coming, then I think I could say I'm hopeful as well. It's just the whole thing where they have to like space out the content. I feel because if they don't space out the content, then we're gonna be back at it with like the last half of the season. There's just like lack of anything happening, and it's a little awkward when you do it like that.
My take on the season so far is I did like the start of the season. I do like the way they took the game as a relaunch. They fixed a lot of issues. Of course, the factions disappeared, which again, I'm split on the factions disappearing. I do kind of miss the factions because at that point each player had a role. It just wasn't the case of run whatever you wanted to run, but I'm fine with that as long as it goes back to the original Splitgate roots. I don't care. I do wish some of the stuff that we have missing now would come back, but I highly doubt any of that would return anytime soon. It would need complete rework.
Yeah.
That said, the whole delay, the situation is kind of weird because on one hand, I don't mind it. Primarily because number one, it's such a small delay. I don't really care. But number two, it's also because vocally, besides the timer that we had on the battle pass, we actually had no date set for season 2, as far as I'm aware. We
Yeah,
just had a month
I mean,
time frame, right?
the communication is a bit weird. So there was no information. So they increased the timer for the battle pass. There was no information on that. On nothing on Discord, nothing on X, and same for all the other information. There was totally silence for 2 weeks. So a lot of people asking about the game in Discord, and people feel that the game maybe gets shut down because player numbers and stuff. And you also have to maybe see all the discussions about Highguard. So the fun thing about is Highguard was around the same time with the silence, I would say. I suspect they keep silence because of the big discussion about Highguard and shutting it down and player numbers, and they don't want to be on the big topic having based on the players. That's my idea, maybe.
I don't think other games have anything to do with how 1047
No.
plan content.
It's not about the game. It's about the players that talking about the game and wants to have it shut down, and about the
Yeah,
marketing and the
Oh,
social
okay.
media stuff.
Yeah, because when
you
even
think
before Highguard
you think that was
came
just
out,
invite
everybody
the
wanted it to fail.
you think that was just invite the Highguard hate onto Splitgate social
Yeah.
medias?
So if you
that
have
makes sense.
problems and there's a game right now that got a lot of hate, you don't want to be in the focus. And I would think they keep silence the last 2 weeks because they haven't anything that they can show. So it's maybe better to keep silence and not be in the main thing. Like, imagine the last release of Splitgate 2. They had the main focus of everyone. Everyone was looking at Splitgate 2. And they don't want to have it again. They maybe want to have a big player increase over time, but they don't want to have the focus again like Highguard. And after
Yeah.
Highguard, what's the next big focus? It's Marathon. So I would think they keep silence because of these reasons, because the last marketing for Splitgate 2 was a disaster. Highguard got a lot of attention, same for Marathon now. So I would think maybe they keep silence after the storm is over and maybe showing something again for season 2.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best way to communicate with the community that is enjoying the game, because if you are silent about everyone, it's also about the community that's loving the game. That's my problem right now, because I really enjoy the game, but I got no information.
So here's my take on the silence. I don't think it is a bad idea, especially when going into a new seasonal drop. And the primary reason is the wow factor. There have been a ton of games that have been just what is it, shadow dropped, I guess, where it like comes out day of announcement, right? And
Yeah.
that's when the games blow up. So when you do seasons like that too, that also gives another wow factor. It's like, okay, everybody's getting into this content and seeing it for the first time. There's a wow factor. Think of when Apex Legends like started, like just blew
Yeah,
up when it
it
first
was
dropped.
it was a big hype.
Yeah, because they sponsored a bunch of streamers and were like, we're going to give you this game. This is the only time this stuff will be visible to everyone. And it'll also be launched day of you guys actually playing it as well. And that game blew up. Like, Apex was like the battle royale for like, I don't know, a week or something until Fortnite, kept its ball rolling too.
Mm.
So it's like, just because someone is silent doesn't necessarily mean that it's end all be all, or they want something, or they don't want to like pull attention to them. Maybe they're silent for a reason.
I mean,
I think
I-
it's not really the silence that like hurts me a little bit. Is that they just did not. They weren't consistent with the roadmap. So like
Right, yeah.
there was a couple events that we were supposed to have that just never happened. Like, for example, there was
Retro.
there was one event called Retro Run that never happened. I think there was a possible another event or something else in the roadmap that just wasn't shown up. And Skybreaker, I think, was set to plan for February roadmap, but we didn't get it until March. So
the question about Skybreaker is why? Because game mode was in the game before, or we could play Instagame before. The maps were in the game before. So why got it delayed? Maybe the skin was not done. I think it's maybe the skin was but the reward was not that big.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't get the delay for this event. Also, our event or our tournament was between the silence, I think. So we had the information about Splitgate. We have silence. We had our event, and there was not much input by 1037.
Maybe they just want to say silent so all the focus will be on our tournament.
in the end, it's maybe good for us.
I do want to talk about the whole roadmap thing because a lot of games or a lot of game companies and developers have a stupid choice of doing roadmaps. And I think Splitgate is a great example of why you should never really do roadmaps or, post things on roadmaps that is like, here's this specific event, right? Because when we expected Retro Run, we expected Retro Run.
Yep.
That's how that worked. But instead of Retro Run, we got the Skybreaker. But even to this day, and this comes around back on the whole Bungie situation in Destiny. Destiny and Bungie originally did roadmaps in year 2 and I think year 3, if I'm not mistaken. And then somewhere around in year 3 and beyond, they stopped doing roadmaps because it was too much of a hassle to keep up with. And I believe, what was year 3? Year 3 was Beyond Light, if I'm not mistaken. And the 2 expansions, I believe, that came out after it were actually delayed. So it was the case of, because we have this roadmap and we're not able to meet the requirements and the guarantees of what we list on the roadmap, we have to then delay it and then mess up the roadmap.
Yeah.
So that is the entire issue here, is that you're given this roadmap and saying this thing is going to be here and this thing is going to be here when you can't meet those requirements, and you're going to like shift around the roadmap and make the roadmap not make any sense at all. So
I mean, there were a lot of games in the past that had some dumb plans. Like, do you remember Anthem? 10-year plan for Anthem.
10-year plan.
We got
Ye-
we got no 1 year. I think it was maybe half year, and the game shut down. So you can't trust plans.
You want to know another game that had a 10-year plan? Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite had a whole 10-year plan ahead of it.
Really?
I
I think I saw something, but
I
I
think I
can't
remember
remember.
Destiny 1 had a 10-year plan as well.
I mean, to be fair,
Activision.
to be fair, they have in a small text in the corner on the roadmap on Splitgate that they maybe can't keep the roadmap. So there's a disclaimer about that. I don't know if everyone saw that.
If the disclaimer is so small to the point where like people just don't really recognize it, like it's gonna give us like false hopes regardless of you guys can't.
I just want to say it's on the roadmap.
Yeah,
pretty small, but
if you can't live up to what is said the roadmap, maybe you shouldn't just make roadmaps. Like,
Yeah,
this-
I mean, that's just it's kind of what it was. And again, it's like with the whole Destiny situation, they even like promised a roadmap more recently. And guess what happened? They never put out a roadmap. Because thanks to Marathon delaying Destiny's update, they literally could not do anything. That was an entire issue, and that's why Destiny's in such a shitter right now, is because not only did Marathon come out, but it also showed like any sense of, oh, here's what's to come is now being pushed out. And that's it.
You know what I like more about roadmaps? Patch notes. Like actual concentrated patch notes that literally details everything you just put in the game that got changed or added. If you only skim on the patch notes, then it's I don't know, it just irks me a bit because then it just leaves the player to figure out what else was the rest of that was added or changed and stuff, and I don't like that, especially for a shooter where it's supposed to have like a competitive environment and that like you should know like everything that's been changed and stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to see that Splitgate goes back more to an indie studio based on how they handle stuff. I would love to see more in-depth stuff, that they're having maybe a blog saying what they're currently working on. I don't know why every stuff needs to be a big secret. I mean, they currently handle it like that. Every next season is a big secret, and they talk about nothing for the future.
The only thing I can think of is there's going to be some gameplay, like some big gameplay adjustments. The thing is for seasons to stand out, there always has to be something unique going on with that season. Destiny does this a lot. In the case of every season, there is something new for you to play with. There is always something new gameplay related to always function. So if that's a new objective, if that's a new raid, new dungeon, whatever it is, something has to be. That isn't to say that Splitgate is going to come out and completely change how the gameplay formula works. Like, oh, now we're only going to have like a certain amount of portals for the season or something like that. Like, that's not how, I don't think that's how they're going to do it. I'm saying they're probably going to have to bring out some like brand new game modes or throw some shift into current game modes to make them a bit more interesting.
What we're going to talk about is what we're hopeful for Season 2 and what things we want to see happen in Season 2. I guess I'll start by saying that as long as they're able to live up to the hope that Races is coming for Season 2, which I don't think there's any delay to that, but if there is, that'd be kind of disappointing. But Races, I'm very curious to see how they're going to incorporate that with their plan of making it multiplayer compatible, because then if we can play with other people while doing races, like I have no idea what that looks like, but that could just be another layer of like replayability for the game, I would think. is just like new races with your friends, right?
But I think what also is needed
don't-
is maybe creating maps for it.
Let me finish, man. I don't know.
No.
I don't know how popular something like that's gonna be. I feel like it's not gonna be that popular, so like, hopefully it's not gonna be a big deal if like not a lot of people play it, and like I hope there's like gonna be like the single player direction that they have from Splitgate 1 as well. But yeah, but something more like, oh yeah, it's technically has multiplayer. It has a ghost system. I think that would be kind of disappointing that it's only a ghost system. I mean, that's what I thought originally they were gonna do it, but people are speculating that it's gonna be bigger than like a ghost system. So we'll see. If they just support foregone destruction as their Splitgate 1 map, again, I'm fine with that, but I would personally enjoy seeing them remix, like redone, like basically remaster one of the Splitgate 1 maps again, like they did with Stadium. That'd be interesting. Or maybe even just a different art direction, like they did with Oasis. Even that could be, I think, more enjoyment, I feel, than just getting Foregone again. Especially since we already have someone that made Foregone in map creation. That's Naked Ape. And then also, yeah, I'm currently worried about Arena Real because Arena Real is at the state where I don't know, people are just ruining it, dude, with the freaking 4 stack. Like, I think they just gotta limit it to 2 stack at this point. If you want to keep Arena Real alive, I think you need to add some restrictions, or maybe just make it so like it is Battle Royale, right? But or Arena Real, but every team is teams of 2s, maybe, or just like everyone's for themselves, maybe, like, you know how like traditional Battle Royales is done in the past, right? Or they
Like you
had,
should be able to queue up at solos or duos.
yeah,
or...
exactly. Maybe they could experiment like a duos or a solos, invitation.
I think what they could do, and this is something Destiny did for their Trials of Osiris. If you queued up as a duo, then your enemies would also be like duos. So keep in mind, Destiny Fire teams are like 3 people, right? When you enter Trials, you have 3 players. So if you're solo, that means you either have 2 other solos, or you're you with a solo, and then you have a duo that's partied up with you. But the enemy team is also matching that, so the odds are it's you and 2 randoms, and then it's like a solo random, and then a duo randoms on the other team. They could try that.
Yeah.
But the issue with that is it's just generally, I don't think there's enough people for that to happen.
Right.
I don't know. I think restricting party up stuff is probably the best choice there.
Yeah, because I think they just gotta do something with Arena Royale next season, because I think it's dying right now thanks to some of the players that don't want to give up 4 stacking it, which is sad that the players are, you know, committed to keep doing that, and they're just basically killing off the game mode at that point. But so we're expecting a new Meridian weapon. We still don't know what it is. Whatever it is, I plan to add that bad boy to Master Cube, because I plan to make Master Cube like fully Meridian Aspire. That'd be pretty sick. And things I want to see for it is, I really want them to you know, improve on the amount of customization choices for custom game modes, and improve on the map browser itself, and if possible give us an option to join as spectator for custom games. Because right now there's no option to join spectator unless it's before the game. If a game's already started, you cannot join as spectator. You can only join as a player, which is very weird, especially like someone like me that plan to host more tournaments in the future, I could see that be a possible problem if we don't have a max player limit and if someone accidentally joins and ruins the flow of the tournament or pugs, etc. It could be problematic. So something like that, and also just general better spectating tools. Like, why is there only a previous and next option for spectate? I want there to be like it was in Splitgate 1, where I just hit 1, 7, 6, 8, and I'll just go to whoever that player is, right? But yeah, those are things I would like to see. Better spectating, better map browser. By what I mean by better map browser, you have a like a like system or something, or like a most download system, where you can filter based on that. And what I pitched before for the podcast is like maybe just have a filter option for like most played or most downloaded this week, month, etc. Or like week.
I mean, there's no
like week, monthly, and like overall maybe like those 3 like filters. But yeah, I think that could be cool. And last, before Core takes over, last thing I really want them to have is weapon customization options for custom game modes. That's the main thing. Being able to just go naked, no weapons, right? You have to pick up all your weapons. I mainly just want that to, bring back Survival Brawl. I know that's Sweden's baby, that's Sweden's game mode, but he doesn't play Splitgate anymore. So it's up to the community to recreate something like that again.
We just steal it, like Map Monday.
And yeah, that's
we don't care.
That's basically where my thoughts are. All right, Core.
Yeah, I have some split thoughts about it, based on the topic. Split. For example, last time we played together Arena Royale for the first time. For me, it was the first time. It was awful. We had 4-player stacks against pro gamers, and I died totally all the time. It was not fun.
Yeah.
And it was my first match, and it was probably my last match in Arena Royale. So much about the game, I would say. I'm not sure if it's that good that they focus. So if they currently go with the roadmap and get for every season a new biome, did you look at the biome that we got for season 1? How detailed these maps are? I'm not sure if they could maybe put the effort in making arena maps to keep the game alive for the players that's still playing the game. Because I currently have the feeling creating content for people that maybe never play the game because they try to get some of the battle royale players that may be interested in this game mode. I'm not sure if it's really worth it. Also, I would like to see a small team, maybe 2 or 3 people from the map team that is focusing only on tournament takedown maps. Like, create a new style, maybe go back to the Splitgate 1 style. Create a new style because we took over the simulation style at some point. We're creating our own styles now. And I think Splitgate should do the same. Like 1037 should create a small team that create maybe 1 or 2 takedown maps every season or between the seasons. So they still have new maps for the comp players, and we need more stuff between the seasons, even if it's just a small map.
It does feel like they abandoned takedown as a whole. Like they just don't really focus on it anymore.
Yeah, they did.
Because they haven't added any new maps to it at all since like before the relaunch. They added.
I mean, you have to imagine
they added Anomaly eventually for the final map for takedown, but that was before relaunch. So I mean,
you have to imagine that they ask the people on I think on X, do you want to have ranked next be taken on the next ranked mode? And most people said yes. And then they started the ranked mode with the old maps. No new maps, no new content.
Well,
what's the point?
The whole thing about that poll is that it's kind of debatable because some people speculate that, if it was just classic 4v4 versus takedown, then classic 4v4 might have win, because how it was set up, it was 3 categories, right? It was loadouts, classic, and takedown. But most didn't want to do loadouts because it was already kind of hated, right? So I don't even know what that was in the equation. So a lot of people were speculating if it was only like options with classic and takedown, then it might have been possible that classic would have won. Because if you tally the classic and loadout votes together, it's basically neck to neck with the votes for takedown. So if they just did it differently, that it was possible that 4v4 classic would have been the ranked game mode and not takedown for the rest of the season. But I do hope to see they'll do 4v4 classic next season, just so we can have customizable game variants of those and customs that we can use, and we use that for pugs as well. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I guess at this point I do want them to at least add at least one takedown map next season if they can, or maybe at least like add the community maps to the takedown playlists. What do you guys think on that?
I also. Yeah, go ahead.
I think just in general, we need to have like at least 3 like actual maps per mode or like per section of the game. Aside from like Arena Royale, I think Arena Royale should have 1 biome per season.
Yeah.
Just because it's like I don't think takedown maps are that big of a hassle to really create. They're extremely simple. As long as you know the formula and they know the formula, so I don't think it's that crazy.
Should be not a big thing.
Yeah, and then again, it's like 3 maps because I think we got 3 maps, right? How many maps do we get this season? Not including Oasis, anyway.
For 4v4?
Yeah.
We had
one away.
We had 7. We had 7 new maps overall this season.
Okay, how many dropped during like after relaunch? It was just
Oasis.
Try Hard. It was
Try Hard and Runway Main.
One away.
Runway Main.
We had 5 at relaunch.
Okay.
We got Runaway earlier. They released it earlier.
Yeah,
because I feel like 2 maps. I feel like 2 maps post launch wasn't enough, right? Like, if we had another map that pushed into like the later end of the season, that would have been fine. And then I mean, it's like even at that point, if you do 2 takedown maps to kind of balance out the 3, and you have 5 maps total per season, and then the new biome for Onslaught if they bring that back, and Arena Royale, I feel like that's fine.
I mean, look at this way. Look at this way. If they don't have a map voting ready for season 2, I think they should just focus on more maps for takedown and our biome for Battle Arena Royale. Because if you do more maps to the 4s, that makes the maps even more rare to pop up without the map voting system. And that's gonna be bothersome.
I think we all agree about the voting system.
Yeah.
But it's like I think there just needs again. I brought this topic up during the ad, and I was gonna bring it back up here. Why haven't they explored the idea of a collaboration yet?
What do you mean by that?
Like a collab with like another franchise or another IP? Because I remember when Splitgate 2 came out, and I forget who it was, but there was one of the community people from 1047 that was like, if there was a collab that you wanted to see, what franchise would it want to be for? And I was like, Halo. One of the ones I think would fit very well is Tron. I think Tron would fit really well into Splitgate.
Yeah.
Just not only because of colors, but also because of the way the suits work.
I
want to see Power Rangers.
I would like to see a Portal collab.
Portal is a hard one because it's
have
like,
some Aperture Science like puzzles or something in Splitgate. I think could be fun.
I mean, that'd be cool. Yeah.
A collab could be also a map feature. Like it could be also a specific map based on a theme. Don't have to be a character.
But like you look at a bunch of different series and you're like, okay, so there's these communities of these series, and it's like, why not try and pull them into the game? It's because we already have a good amount of Halo players, right? But that was because the game was originally marketed within Splitgate 1 as Halo with portals.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are dropping Black Ops and they're now looking for new games to play. So it's like you need something to pull players back in. And if it's a collab, then that'll do. Shoot, Phoenix, you remember Blue Protocol, right? The MMORPG that I've been playing quite a bit recently.
The game I can't get into.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. What
So
about it?
so basically recently it's been on a downward trail of like losing players. But like even when the game launched, we've had rumors of a collaboration currently in the works. And we just now figured out what we have 2 collabs, not 1, but 2. We have the first one is of another anime called Shangri-La Frontier, which is a big anime, by the way. A lot of people are excited for that. And then the other anime for the collab is fucking Fairy Tail, which is another massive fucking anime.
Oh, that's cool.
But the question is like how it is that's definitely going to pull players in because people are interested in those franchises, right? Now, my biggest question is whether or not it'll keep players. That's another issue, right? But it's always the case of the collabs will bring eyes on the game. And I think that's what Splitgate needs the most right
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think it
I
can
could
work
see
if
that. My only issue is that I don't want a game to go to like collab hell like the way that Fortnite
like
does.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't want the entire
I
game
mean,
to just be a collab of something. It's like
now.
I think
just
I mean,
just only
I don't
do
know.
you
a
have
few
2
collabs.
options.
Only
Like,
do like a few collabs, and I'm fine.
But yeah.
I think you have 2 options. One way is be like Fortnite and your main income is being the collab game, and the other option is to have some collabs between a few times, something this collab and this collab. I mean, look at Overwatch, for example. They started years ago about collabs. Only have their own lore, starting with that. And a few years ago, with Overwatch 2, they started doing some collabs, and it's working. Selling some skins, I think. They currently have what is it? 2B, I think is the latest skin they added from the game.
For what,
But
Overwatch?
what was the name?
There,
I can Google it.
there's just some collabs that just don't make sense for some games. Do you guys remember the Halo collab for Fall Guys?
Yeah. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm
that's
like,
another
I'm like,
it's
why is this
that's
here?
that is another epic thing. You got to keep in mind, Fall Guys and Fortnite are made by or published by the same people, and I think they're also
Oh,
developed by like
right.
the same company.
Gotcha.
So it's like everything there is interconnected, right?
Yeah.
But it's like Overwatch revealed one of the craziest collabs I think I've ever seen, and that was with Hello Kitty.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Why is Overwatch collaborating with Halo or with Hello Kitty?
I
Right?
don't
That
remember
doesn't make
that.
fucking sense to me.
You have to see it from this perspective. So they had Overwatch 1, and at some point they created some kind of Overwatch 2. It was never the game that they imagined it. So, and I think a few months or 1 month ago they said we're removing this the number 2. We're going back to style of Overwatch 1 a bit, and they announced the collab Hello Kitty as the starting of the big Overwatch update. Like they're starting with Hello Kitty. It's so crazy. And the current collab they currently have is Near Automata. So
I-
it's also a big IP.
I'm a big Nier fan, and I honestly love those skins. That is probably my favorite Overwatch collab, and I don't even play fucking Overwatch.
I don't think they will ever do a Nier collab in Splitgate, just the fact that Nier shows off too much
Probably.
skin.
So the point I want to make in Splitgate is you really have to be serious about the collabs you do. Because I saw a lot of Overwatch collabs that also were trash, like Transformers. I don't see Transformers fitting Overwatch. So it's hard to find a good collab. You can't do anything. Like, as we mentioned before, I would say Tron would be really nice. I really
Yeah.
think Power Rangers really fits the game. Like,
Yeah,
we
Power
have
Rangers
some
would be
sort
cool.
of Power Ranger skins, so do a fucking Power Rangers collab.
Yeah, sure.
Why not? I also think in general the
Or
game needs
maybe
more
even
content you can buy. And
or
if I
maybe
mean
maybe
buy,
even Common Rider.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
so for example, in StarCraft 2, I'm not sure if this also was a thing in StarCraft 1, but in StarCraft 2 you also have an option to buy different announcer packs. So we also have announcer in Splitgate. Why can't I maybe change announcer by buying a small pack, maybe for $5-6? I don't know, or maybe 10 would be fine. And you have different announcers, maybe some awesome esport commentator, or having a female voice, or
Okay.
maybe Splitgate 1
Be,
announcer
be,
if it's
be,
possible.
before we talk about the possible talk of more announcers in Splitgate, they gotta fix the announcer for being slow as fuck for everything that's happening in game. Like, if I got an overkill or something, or wherever it's freaking called in Splitgate, right? Why it takes the announcer a million years to actually say that, or like
Um,
show the medal off, or at least, right? I think they gotta
I, s-
speed those things up a bit.
I think there's also a difference in Splitgate 1 and Splitgate Arena Reloaded, because getting kills in Splitgate 1 was much more fun because of the announcer, I think. Like, triple
Yeah,
kill,
yeah. I think everyone liked the
all the
announcer in
stuff.
Splitgate 1. They're kind
And
of
it
like
was also the BFB in Splitgate 1 was so fun. Like,
I feel bad for the guy.
I miss that.
I feel bad for the guy who did all the work for announcing in Splitgate Arena Reloaded, but like, I think everyone just enjoys the Splitgate 1 announcer more. If they could, I think they would want the Splitgate 1 announcer back.
And
I think another thing that really brings it down for me is, what is it? The fivefold? Or
Yeah,
no, I don't think it's like five. Does he announce fivefold, or does he just go 5 kills?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But
Like,
because that's an issue I've
there's
noticed.
some inconsistencies.
Going beyond 5 rapid kills, there's no announcer for it. He just goes 5 kills, 6 kills. Meanwhile, with each medal, there's actually a name for it.
Yeah.
And that was a thing in Splitgate 1. And then I like the new medals because it goes a kill, double kill, triple kill, foregone,
Foregone, that's what that was called.
fivefold, and I think it's 6-shooter.
Yeah, it's like a shooter.
And then I don't know what it is beyond that. But even if I get a 6-shooter, it's never announced as 6-shooter. It's always
Yeah.
just called like 6 or 6 kills or something like that. And
How
I think that's another
rare-
downside.
How rare of a 6-shooter can happen? Like, you will want the announcer to call that out. Like, why is that not a thing?
And that is such a big thing for Halo too, because when you look at like Halo clips, especially from Mint Blitz does it all the fucking time. He is going for the most rapid kills in succession as he can until he hits Kiltacular, I think it is. I don't remember which one it is. But either way, he's going for up to like 10 rapid kills. And
Isn't that called extermination?
no, extermination is when you kill the entire 4-player enemy team
Oh, okay.
within an overkill. That's what an extermination is.
Gotcha.
Let me search them up. Just Halo. Oh, hello keyboard. Turn on Halo or rapid.
But yeah, collabs could be interesting. I don't know what else I could do. As far as like map creation features goes, like the main thing I really want them to add is 2 things actually. Sorry for my language, but where the fuck is the glass pieces? Where's my glass pieces at? For one, okay? We had them. It's Splitgate 1. Where are they? And lastly, I want there to be options to do takedown power weapon rule sets where they have half ammo count. If we can do that, we can bring that to life for our community made maps and takedown and it won't
Mhm.
be overpowered to include them in because they'll have half ammo count. Right now, 8 ammos and deadbolt for takedown just does not cut it.
sucks.
That's just too OP.
I think I would.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Core. I'm still thinking.
I think in general, I want to see more quality of life features for the map builder. I really want to see a dark mode for the sidebars, please. These white sidebars destroying my eyes.
Oh, you want
And,
you want UI changes, like customization to the
Um,
UI.
I just want
No
some
way.
small quality of life features because one thing is still bugged is the outliner, for example. I posted in our Discord. Because if you have too many objects, for example, you got a scrolling bug in the outliner, and also all the text change. Totally weird. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening there. What I really want to see in the outliner is subgroups, like having a subfolder. So
Yeah.
currently we have a group system only for one layer. Like you have a group, but you can't have a group inside a group. And having a group inside a group would be a game changer, I think, for having a better structure of your creating the map
This
you're currently
th-
working on.
this also bothers me a little bit. So in the outliner, let's say you have things grouped up. If I want to look up something specific in the outliner, like let's say I type in weapon pad or something. If I have all my weapon pads grouped up, it will not show up. Like it does not include group objects when you look things up in the outliner. And I wish it did. So
And what I also want to see is maybe it's just an easy way to do it, but maybe more customization options. For example, you have a left sidebar and you have a right sidebar. Why can't I just switch the content, like having my outline on the left side and still keep my details page on the right? Because if you're currently working on some stuff and you need, for example, I use the outliner and the details page a lot, and both is on the right sidebar, but I
yeah.
can't have open both sides at the same time. So I can have the objects on the left side, and if I'm going to the outliner and need the details page, I have to switch back and forth all the time. And if I'm building a map, it's probably in one session, maybe 80 times. I don't know. Because I work a lot with groups and I have to ungroup stuff, edit stuff, group it again. And every time you click on something on the outliner, then you have to switch to the details page to edit it in details, like switching the material. Then you're selecting something else. You're going back to the outliner, so you have to switch all the time the tabs. So there should be a way that I can just move tabs from the right sidebar to the left sidebar, or from the left to the right. Give me some options in the settings.
I mean,
There should be a way, I think.
Corey, you of all people should know how they stand on when it comes to things of UI elements, which they seem to struggle to update over time. So, I mean, that sounds cool, but I just feel like that's something they just can't do anytime soon.
I think the best option that we could do is just put the outliner on the left side or the detailed page on the left side, because I think it would make much more sense to have a way to open the details page and the outline on the same.
I mean, if it's easy
side
for
by
them
side.
to, if it's easy to do it, then yeah. But I feel like that's kind of like a low priority on things they could do.
I mean, I think they're currently working on the budget mainly. So I'm pretty sure that we get a budget increase for season 2.
Not this again. We don't need a budget increase for Map Creator.
They're working on it. It's
no, they shouldn't.
That's my last information.
They shouldn't.
They probably are, because even I think Naked Ape has kind of been struggling with budget in terms of his maps as well. And keep in mind,
his maps are all one art style.
But that's the thing. He's still putting
still heavy
into the map.
Yeah, but
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Sure, they're one art style,
okay,
but
here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you increase the budget, you're gonna have problems on console. Plain and simple.
Okay.
Yeah. If the game is supposed to support all
I mean, we had this problem in SG1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't want to have that issue again, do we?
But question, are you sure we will have the same problem again? Because this game is totally created
It's
by scratch.
I think it invites that
It's another game.
I think it invites that possible risk that's not worth it. Like 5K is plenty compared to like Splitgate's 2K. Like
Yeah.
Splitgate 1's 2K.
But what if they can increase the budget and you don't have any problems? Because if I'm working on my takedown maps, for example, I'm also at 3 or 4K budget just because I'm adding more details, like adding little fonts or something like that I'm creating based on base objects. And maybe they try to make it much easier to have more details on maps
I think if you
by
run
increasing
into
the budget.
I honestly believe if you run into 5K in Splitgate 2 or Splitgate Arena Reload rather, right? Most of it is probably going to be lighting. Just tone down the lighting, dude. You don't need so many lighting options. If you do that, then you'll be fine.
Here's my take on this, because I look at Halo Infinite, and keep in mind, Halo Infinite is still running on that 2-decade-old game engine. That is still the Blame engine. It might be rebranded, but it's a heavily modified Blame engine.
You can't play Halo Infinite on old gen console, can you?
You can.
You can play on the original Xbox One?
You can, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, does the game run great on the original Xbox One? Is the question, because
I mean, it's 30 frames, but that's no different from like Splitgate
30 frames.
Arena. Yeah, but even then, Splitgate Arena Reloaded is also running at apparently a stable 48.
It runs at 60.
Not according to the post they posted all the frame metrics whenever right before relaunch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Roscoe has a Xbox One X. That's right. He got it run at 60. By the way, I've seen Splitgate on Roscoe's perspective when he streams the game. They gotta fix the way the art looks. It looks very oily and poopy and gross looking. I really hope they could do something about that.
But either way, when it comes down to Halo Infinite, you can stuff more than 5K objects into Halo and like Infinite's Forge, and the game will still run decently. So, don't know what's up with that.
I just think you're just gonna run to console compatibility issues if you give more freedom for map creators in the lab, which I think the current freedom is plenty enough.
But also, there's a bunch of like examples in the case of that. Sure, that might be a limitation sometimes, but it's not always a limitation. Because keep in mind, when we ran into the Splitgate 1 limitation of 1,700 objects, that was something that was happening with the game itself, not because of platforms. Because even players on PC were having that issue.
Yeah.
Right? So
and you're just gonna recreate that same potential problem if you increase the budget, I feel, for Splitgate Arena Reloaded.
But that's not entirely
I don't think so.
true, considering it's the game engine itself, right? When you look at something like hardware limits, that's something that's different, because then you have to match the limits of the game engine to the hardware limits. But if our platform is exclusively PC, then our limits are going to be uplifted a ton because we aren't supporting that hardware. And I do think Unreal Engine has the capability to support more than 5,000 objects for a map.
I don't know, man.
I don't think we can compare the SG1 editor with the SSG Arena Reloaded editor, because this thing was designed by scratch and they have it in mind since the beginning of the development of Splitgate Arena Reloaded or Splitgate 2. The creator in SG1 was just an idea that was critically created and somehow worked, but it was not intended in the beginning. And that's
I think if you increase the budget, you're gonna risk the possibility that everyone's gonna be loading in your map at like 30 frames per second, and then no one's gonna touch it again. And guess what? You just wasted all that time making that map because no one wants to play it.
I mean,
so it's
I could say the same. I could say the same about materials. Before, I mean, we don't even know in the beginning that we get a material option. We have no materials. So in the beginning, I could say if they add a material option and maybe people use crazy materials, it could be a problem in loading the map, maybe, but it isn't a problem. It's working fine. So I could see an increasement of the budget without
Okay.
any problems if they do it
How,
correctly.
how about this? Properly test it out among the devs, properly test it out on all consoles, including old gen, and then figure out if they can comfortably raise the budget then. Because I feel
I
like
was
they
about to
did.
say,
I feel like they didn't really properly test the 2K budget properly in Splitgate 1 for Map Creator when they originally boosted from. It was originally 1200 to 2K. But then it just got to a point where, like, oh, if you want your map feature in the game, it's gotta be 1700 or less.
so here's a pitch idea for me. Why not pick up a ton of map creators at this point and just have them test those limits? Because if they're not going to do it as they're
Yeah.
busy developing the game, why not have, like Naked 8, for example, test those limits or find issues and bugs? Because he's always finding something new that,
Um,
is an issue.
So you're thinking about adding features for map builders before they release it, or what? Which way? Because I can't
it's just like you
imagine
said,
building a
Core.
map for.
It's just like you said, Core. Maybe they should just dial down the secrets and just allow the community to help test out your game. Right?
I mean, yeah, but for example, if they, for example, let us test some stuff before they release it, and maybe not releasing it, I would not in the mood to create a map with a 4 or 5K budget or higher, and maybe it's not, will not work in the future because they maybe change something because we have something like that before. Imagine all the maps that were created in the beta before
They don't
on
even.
the small player
I
base.
feel like they don't even technically need our help to test up limits. Just slap a bunch of random objects on your template with like
You
added
could,
lightning
right?
and just test it
But-
out. Can it perform okay moving around it?
But the issue with that is think of like the time that it could be taking to set down those objects and testing those limits when reality they could just be developing and fixing other issues. Right? Like
Yeah.
that's the trade-off here. It's like sure the dev could do it, but if they had someone else to do it for them, that saves them time so they can then look into the more pressing matters that really matter. Because like if we went in, we didn't then stress test everything to like, the materials beforehand, we could probably have glass already on its way or something like that, right? Like that's the mindset here. And again, we have a bunch of playtests. Why is it every single time we do playtests, Map Creator never seems to be in any of them?
Yeah.
I hear they deleted the playtest Discord today or yesterday.
They did.
I saw it on the
Creator Hub
official
is
Discord
still
chat.
there.
I think they removed some Discord, but I'm not on it.
No,
I read it on the official Discord.
The external playtest server is still there.
Yeah, all the ones I'm in is still there.
I had no idea. I saw it because someone was pinging a dev.
Creator Hub, external playtests, and yeah, they're all there.
But it's like whenever me and Phoenix participated in the creator, the early looks for everything, which by the way, we haven't heard anything for like the next one or whatever.
Yeah.
If anyone was curious.
Yeah, not really playtests yet from Seems.
When it comes down to it, there has only been one singular playtest that has actually had Map Creator in it. And I believe that was the very first one right before relaunch.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
But if you see, they showed all the maps that people created in the teaser or trailer before Splitgate to release, but they didn't include all the assets that these maps used, and for some reason, they wasn't not possible to play these maps because these maps was not in the game. That's sad. I mean, I would like to try the maps in the beginning of the release.
I would have liked to, but it was also just the case of they were obviously time limited on what they could make.
Yeah, true.
So it just wasn't it was also just the case of they really couldn't guarantee the maps would be playable in that case. I know Hunter Killer like came out and was like, yeah, we're trying to see if we can get the maps to come to like the public release, but I guess they just never could make it happen
Oh
for
yeah,
whatever reason.
yeah. No, those maps are nuked at this point. Those are never seen the light of
Yeah.
day.
But I don't know.
To be fair,
There's a
think
lot.
to be
there's a
fair, Hunter Killer said that they only had like I think like what like 2 hours to make a map or something.
Yeah,
So it's
true.
not it's not like they lost
That's
a
hard.
lot. It's not like they lost a lot of valuable time creating those maps. But still,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad to see they're gone.
Yeah.
Not enough time, I would say, but for
But-
testing, it's much enough time, I would say.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like if you want something tested, I think it's good to give the players hands on with that because we've seen it time and time again. It's like give us portal systems. What portal systems do we like? How does feedback there function? It's like
Mhm.
that stuff kind of matters. And
Maybe
if it comes down to it, it's like if people want to get into map creating, but they feel like the controls aren't there, it's like then feedback there is always something that's important too.
maybe it's switching the topic a bit, but I think it's a bit related. So, for example, I think they also need to remake, rework the game mode stuff, like how we create game modes and how we can share it with people. Because currently it makes no sense to make a custom game mode because no one is really interested to recreate this game mode piece by piece by reading a text file in some Discord. One option is give us a code share function. I would
Yeah.
like to see an embed function inside of the map, so you can embed a game mode inside of a map, and you have some sort of pre-selection you can choose when choosing this map. For example, if I have maybe a nice Insurgate mode, so maybe there's a system that I can say, this map is nice. You can play this map with this custom game mode, and you can select this game mode. Because if you have, for example, if I have a custom game mode based on Splitball and create a map for it, or we have a Hunger Games mode that is specific for a map, how should people know that you need this game mode and this map together?
Yeah,
There's
that's
no way that people get this connection between this stuff.
that comes back to my pitch for map browser, where like maybe they could like make it so like when you select a map in map browser, you can also attach a game mode alongside it that includes
Mhm.
custom like made setting game modes.
Mm.
So like let's say I bring back Split Ball Derby back. I have a published Splitgate icon, and then when you click on icon, the map browser, it'll ask you, do you want to play the attached game mode Split Ball Derby, right? And if not, then you can just select wherever.
So
I think that could
what I
work.
noticed, for example, working on some maps that I'm currently working on, I have the feeling that the official maps have different variations based on the spawn system. Like, if you have Splitball, for example, you need team spawns more than neutral spawn. And I think it would be nice if you can have different variations of a map in one project file that you release. Like, for example, if I have my Echo map, I can release it and have different variations. And I would like to see a map detail page. So you have the map browser, you can look through the map browser. You have predefined tags for arena, takedown, and some other game modes like domination. So you can search by game modes, you can filter by game modes.
They
You
could
click
just
on a map, for example, you have
I think they could just advance. I think they could just make advanced settings for the spawns in Map Creator, where like you can make it locked to a certain game mode, if that's what you're looking for. Like for example, I can
Yeah,
make it
I mean-
so these are split ball only spawns right here, but other game
Mm,
modes they
yeah.
won't be affected, right? Is that something like
I mean,
what you're
currently,
looking for?
currently I'm working with a system like I have specific game modes inside of a group, and if I'm releasing my map, I deleting all the stuff I don't need because Splitball needs team spawns, but Takedown needs only 3 team spawns per side.
Mhm.
So if I want to have a Takedown map that also have a working Splitball mode, it's not working. So I would
Yeah.
think we need more options to have variations of a map inside of a map somehow. I don't know how to describe it.
This is also something that kind of bugs me a tiny bit. I don't know how important you guys think would it be if they could bring it back, but the ability to update your maps without it generating a different
Yeah.
code. I don't like that every time I want to
The
make
code
updates.
system makes no sense.
Yeah, every time I make a new map or if I want to update it, I have to republish it, and every time you republish it, it's gonna be a different code. And Splitgate 1, anytime
Yeah.
you update a map, as long as it's in that same save, the code still remains. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know why we
Is
can't
it-
do that again.
Maybe they could do it a bit like Discord. Like, if you have your map published, you have it on your publish page, and how about a system that you can create a code? And if you want to keep the code, you keep it. And if you want to have a new one, you generate a new one. That's it. Like, you need more control about the codes you get created, I think.
I just
But
don't
if you
think.
have the way to,
I think they just need an option for like when you go click publish, there should be like an option to like be able to override one of your map slots you already publish, and then it'll still retain that code. I think.
but the thing is, I don't want to have only one code for my map, because if I have 3 variations of my map, because of different weapon spawns, I need 3 different codes. One code is not enough.
Realistically,
Yeah.
Because currently I have a classic version and I have a loadout version of my map
they should make
because
it.
of different spawn types.
Realistically, they should make it so you don't even need multiple variations of your map. They should just make it so
Yeah,
like
I know.
That
Should be a thing.
we can do different spawns on certain game modes.
But
And then
what
you
we
won't,
need,
and then you won't have that issue where, oh, I have 3 copies of the same map, but they're for different game modes.
what we need is what they called labels in Halo, where when you have a spawn or an objective or whatever the hell it was, every objective and every spawn you could apply a label. We're essentially saying that if spawn was labeled CTF, it would only spawn in CTF. But
Yeah.
then there was a bunch of other things you could do with labels, like especially in
I mean-
scripting. Like you could apply a label to a player and you can let them walk through a barrier without dying or something like that. There was a lot you could do with it.
I think what fixes the problem is probably that you can go on an object, like go on the spawn point of a character, you click on it and say, you have a list of some base game modes like CTF, Domination, King of the Hill, and you say, or like Splitball, and then you say, this spawn point I place on the map is only for Splitball. Or you can click on multiple game modes at the same time, like a checkbox. And then you release your map, and all the stuff you checked for these modes are on the map for this mode. So you don't need multiple objects. Because on my map, for example, I have different weapon pads based on loadouts and classic. Like in classic, you need more pickups, and in loadouts, you don't need any pickups.
Mm-hmm.
And with the current stuff we have, it's not really possible. So you need multiple map versions. This is how we did
Yeah.
it on the tournament. And I think it's not the best option, but it's the only option we have right now to have multiple map versions. Yeah.
All
But I
right.
think they can optimize stuff there.
I don't want to go through another ad break. It's gonna start in like 12 minutes, so let's just like wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything we can do for a closure? Like anything we could mention or say, or maybe just say something like, you guys excited for Splitgate Season 2?
Only
as
if they have
excited
CTF.
as As excited as I possibly could be at this point, but we'll see.
I hope we can get early playtests again. That'd be sick.
Maybe. I feel like we would have heard something about it on our end already, but
I mean,
I mean,
don't
the best
know.
thing would be a date
if
for
it's
season 2.
I mean, if it's rumored to be in like 11 or 12 days from now, we might not hear anything until like next week maybe. For possible
yeah,
playtest.
it'll either be like next week or even the week of, because that's usually what they do.
Yeah.
So
But
we'll
yeah,
see.
I would say
but
maybe next week.
I'm excited for races at least. I don't know what else they have for store. We'll have to wait to find out.
The only problem I see maybe is that the expectations of the people are maybe too high. Stuff we get. If we maybe have less stuff that we expected, it's maybe a bit disappointing. Maybe because the delay, people maybe thinking they get a lot of stuff and disappointing. And yeah, we see. I have mixed feelings about season 2 right now, but season 1 also surprised me with the material options and the map builder, so I have high hopes for the map builder. We'll see.
But yeah, we'll end it here, folks. We're gonna right out to Destine. She's a oceanic ranker. She plays rank, and queue up rank, guys, because apparently it's a struggle for her to find games when people don't queue games because she's from Oceania. And I don't know. There's a lot of Oceania people out there. So yeah. Adios, fellas.
have a good one.